Good evening and welcome to the Wednesday night stream.
Howdo.
So yes, welcome to another live stream. I will be going live on Friday, and we're going to have a Valentine's special because obviously Friday is Valentine's Day. So yes, going to be having a Valentine's special. And if I talk to Mr. P very, very nicely, he might actually join me on the sofa. He doesn't know yet, but I'm gonna cajole him into joining me on the sofa. So it is the night, the most romantic day of the year, or supposedly. So I thought I'd sort of make it a little bit different and have him on the sofa with me. So I don't know whether I'm going to have many in with it being Valentine's and everybody's going to be out with a sweetheart. We're not doing anything special. So, I mean, we've been married how long this year? 17 years in June. We've been married. So, it's a case of, we don't have to buy each other presents. We don't have to send each other cards to know that we love each other. So, but, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't sort of, a dinnet for us is a chippy. But yeah, same as I've always said, I don't like the thought of him wasting money on flowers. So I for the stone. Hi, Wacky. My name's actually Jeanette Pickering, but I like to make my thumbnails a little bit quirky, so I called it Wacky Wednesday. So yes, I am here on a regular basis, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So we're doing like a little bit of a Valentine's special on Friday. So, we're not.
I know, sorry about
that. It's all right. I just thought I'd sort of put the record straight, if you know what I mean. But, so we're not doing anything in particular on Friday. So as I say, we've been married 17 years this year, and we don't need cards or, boxes of chocolates or flowers to let each other know that we, that we love each other. So, I don't sort of, begrudge anybody else doing that, but us as selves don't particularly, go. Same as I say, we don't sort of go overboard with it. In fact, I think last year I don't think we even sent each other a card.
No.
Because we basically tell each other every day that we love each other. So, why should Valentine's Day be any different? So, but not that I'm being a dilly damper on things, all well and good if you're romantic, you want to show your wife, your girlfriend, your partner, your boyfriend or whatever, that you love them. But us in particular, we show each other we love each other every day, not just on that one particular day. So you know, it's. I might bake him some cakes. I don't know. It all depends how good he is. So, but I did make some Disley.
Drizzle. Come on, get with it now.
It says Disley.
It done.
It does.
It does that.
So yeah, I made some cupcakes the other day. They've all disappeared.
Yep.
No
rules at them.
But this is it. Same as I say, we've been married like sort of 17 years in June, and we tell each other we love each other every day. You know, so you know it. Not being, you know, dilly-dan or anything, but it's just like any other day for us because we tell each other we love each other every day. So yes, so we'll be here anyway, celebrating Valentine's, and the thing I like is I like to hear other people's stories. You know, I like to hear romantic proposals and how they first met and where they went on the first date and things like that. You know, I love a good romance story, if you know what I mean. You know, and I love hearing people's stories about how they met and, you know, unusual places that they've gone on the first date, or, you know, how things has gone sort of wrong, how they'd got it all planned out, you know, to be picture perfect, and then all of a sudden everything goes wrong and it all goes pear-shaped. So you know, I love a good romantic story. So I'm hoping that touch wood, with a bit of luck, we get quite a few in, and I can ask people about their, you know, how they met their partner, or, you know, where they went on the first date, and, you know, what's the most romantic thing your partner's ever done for you, or, you know, least romantic place, or, you know, that they've sort of gone to and out on a date, you know, things like that. No, it's a Friday evening.
Yeah, well,
so yeah, so be nice to hear everybody's stories, and some, as I say, I think I'm going to get Mr. P over here because everybody can hear him most of the time, but it's very rare he comes on camera. So yeah, so I'll get him over here on Friday evening, and we'll co-host together.
Oi, oi, oi.
Hi, Amjad. How are you?
Amjad.
So we've just been talking about Friday evening, Amjad, about doing like a Valentine's special, you know, and you know, I was just saying I love to hear people's, you know, where they went on the first date, how they met, you know, where's the least romantic place that your partner or whatever's took you out on a date, and things like that. So you know, Pixie will be joining me on the sofa, so I'll have him as my co-host. So that's the plan anyway. We were going to go up to Johnny's tomorrow, but we've had snow today. Yeah, albeit it hasn't settled, but I've watched the weather forecast and it's not looking good. You don't have to say yes because I'm telling you. Oh, I'm good. But finding hairstyles for Thursday after half term. Me and my friend are doing a bridal hair and makeup competition. Ooh. So yes, I mean I agree. No sooner have we got to the weekend, it soon flies by. It's soon Monday now. We're midweek. We're halfway through the week. So yeah, one good thing we can say. I mean, our son's at college and they're off for next week. So so we're going to have a nice, relaxing week. Another thing that we've been doing as well is we've been looking about holiday destinations. We've been looking at cottages and we're at Peak District and Lake District, and we haven't sort of decided, we haven't made our mind up yet exactly where we're going, but we want to do like self-catering, hire a cottage. On the site that we were looking on, some of them have got their own hot tubs, but obviously the more expensive. The least expensive ones have got, washing machine, dishwasher, and they're nice. I mean, same as we said, we're not particularly bothered about a hot tub. But yeah, it's Callum's last day tomorrow. So he don't go in on a Friday anyway. So he's looking forward to what they call, is it half term? I don't know. Hi, Kate. How are you?
I'm okay.
Are you better? I were a little concerned when Azy said that you got to stay in the hospital, and then I saw you post about everything else. I were really worried about you. So I hope you're feeling better. Going back to the subject, we were looking on this particular site that do like cottages and things like that to let. So we haven't decided when or where we're going at the moment, but we're sort of looking into it. Oh, Harry's poorly now as well. Oh dear. So yeah, we haven't booked anything yet. We're just looking at the moment, or we haven't even decided when we're going. But we didn't go last year for the fact that Callum were doing his exams and then he was sort of enrolling in college and whatnot. So really didn't get a chance to go last year. So we've said now he's settled in college and everything. We're definitely going to go this year. So, but I was just saying we were going to go to Johnny's tomorrow, but yesterday and all, we had everything: wind, hailstones, sun, rain, everything. I got out to go to the toilet at 5 o'clock this morning, and it was like a blizzard outside, but nothing's settled. Yeah. So I've just been saying to Amjad, Callum finishes tomorrow because he don't go to college on a Friday. So basically, he breaks up tomorrow. They more or less, I think, have same holidays at schools, I think. Yeah. And some, as I say, I messaged Johnny earlier on and I says, I'm keeping my eye on weather forecast. I says, but tonight's didn't look very good. Still high winds, ice, snow in some areas. So I says, we'll sort of hang fire a bit. And hi, Paul, how are you? We'll hang fire a bit until the weather gets better, because yeah, it's only like about 40 minutes away, but we on M1, and everybody knows how windy it can get on M1 and everything. You see, yeah, I'm okay, Paul. I'm same, Amjad. I'm a very, very light sleeper. And I says to Chris, the wind were that bad, I pulled quilt more or less over my head. Because if there's any noise, I'm buggered. I can't get to sleep.
We got Jeff and that other lad and all.
Hiya, Jeff. Hiya, Wacky. Hashtag I'm fine. How did you know I was watching? I know everything. You should know that by now. So yeah, so I messaged Johnny and I says, we don't want to risk it. We want to stay local. Yeah, Chris, yeah, same as I say, we had the hailstones and everything yesterday, Kate, and it were thundering, it were raining, great big
thundering while it was snowing.
Great big like hailstones, and then it were raining, and then the sun had come out. We had a mixture of everything yesterday. The same as I said, it's not worth risking it going anywhere unless we're going anywhere locally. It's just not worth it, because you hear trees blowing down, and one man's been killed by one bloke's been killed because it blew a tree onto his car, and and now on top of this, we've got this Storm Dennis coming in. So I'm just waiting for Storm Pixie.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, if Mr. DJ Ian's watching, I just seen a moment. Yeah, because I says to him, I says, apparently we've got another storm coming in and it's called Brian. And he went, no, it's Dennis. And I says, it goes in alphabetical order. He says, yeah. Well, he says, well, last time I looked, he says, B come before C. So he's not let me hear the last of it. So he's been pulling me like something chronic. Okay, then. Thank you very much, Featherstone. Thank you for coming in.
Featherstone.
He says, I told you to lay off the John Smiths. So, yeah. So, basically, and I says, well, I had a senior moment. I've had brain fog, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So, but he's not letting me forget it. He keeps saying, well, according to genetics, Storm Brian. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm never gonna be able to live that one down. Thank you, Featherstone, and have a good night. And thank you for joining us. Yeah, according to what I've heard, Bella, because this last one was a C and it were named after a woman, it alternates between boy, girls names. So obviously that's why this one's called Dennis, because they're going alphabetical order, plus they alternate between a boy and a girl's name. So from what I've been told. So yeah, so the next one is due to be after a girl with a letter E. So yeah, more than likely, I think there's already been an Emma though, haven't there? I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't remember. Well, I've said something wrong because it went from 11 right down to 6.
Was Richard Dennis.
It's Wacky says senior moment. No, I just brain fog or whatever you call it, or a senior moment. I do have these every now and again.
Storm drunk strap.
But yeah, same as I say, it's because I turned up. but yeah, as friend Ian will never let me live it down. He keeps pardon me, keeps going on about it. So right, my hands is itching, so I'm going to put some of this cream on. Oh, Gordon Bennett, everything's going flying. So yeah. So apparently, it's not going to let up at all. So more of the same, really. High winds. I was just saying, Bella, I got out of bed at 5 o'clock this morning to go to the toilet, and it was like blowing a blizzard, snowing. And I expected sort of, having quite a bit of snow on ground. But nothing's settled.
No, Chris.
This is buffering. So, yeah. So yeah. So apparently we're going to have more of the same. High winds, snow, ice, everything over the weekend. So it don't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. We have had little, like, little, portions where it's not been as windy. I think the same as I said to Chris, is this storm before the, calm before the storm, as they say. So yeah, it has to. Yeah, well, same as I say, it's we keep having what I call flurries, Bella. It sort of snows for a bit, but not enough to settle, if you understand what I'm saying. Like little flurries, as I call them. But like, because we ain't got no curtains up in spare bedroom, and I looked out through the window, and it was like blowing a blizzard, because like right outside our house there's a street light. You can always tell whether if it's raining or wherever it's doing. Same as I say, I looked out through the window, and you could see like all snow blowing past. It was like and when Chris got up this morning to get her up with Callum, I says, at 5 o'clock, I says it was snowing. So we actually went into spare bedroom, looked out window. He says, well, there's none on ground. He says it looks like it was just like a flurry or something. He says it's not settled, So yeah, so it hadn't stuck around.
Go down.
Talking about McDonald's now, but yeah, we can actually say that we've had some snow, but it hasn't stuck about. So yes. So it's all right. I like this. It's this this zero base cream what they gave me for my leg for when I had the allergic reaction. It says moisturizes and protects red inflamed dry skin. So I when my hands get when my hands get a little bit dry, I put some on my hands just to moisturize them. It don't smell fantastic, but hey ho, if it does the job. So Chris has one like near enough every month. It's on his repeat prescription because when he had the cellulitis, he has to keep that moisturised as well. So you see what Bella's put?
What?
If there's too much snow in the garden, we'll host Tess because she's white, isn't she? Well, I tell you what his dad's got, Bella, because his dad takes what sort of dog's your Digger? It's like one of them hard bristly type of dogs. It's a terrier or something.
Something like that.
It's something terrier, but she's like black and brown, and like it's like a bristly type. Anyway, and his dad said that when he take her out of a night, a what?
The he, not a she.
Well, when he took him out at night, he couldn't see where he were, so he bought like a little red light to put on his collar. And what he does is, before he lets him off at lead, he presses this red light, and so he can see him, so we don't lose him. So that I say, same as I said to Chris, it's a genius idea when you think about it. If you're taking your dog out at night and it's dark, and you know, because see, Digger is like a tan colour, but he's mostly black. Same as I said to Chris, you know, I can see where he's coming from when he takes.
Sorry.
If you hadn't guessed, he's watching some football. So anyway, same as I say, it's a genius idea because it goes on the collar. It's like a little round thing. And what he does is, before he lets him off the lead, he presses this light on. I don't know whether it flashes or whether it stays on, but at least it can keep track of him and it can see where he is if he goes off into distance in dark. So, you know.
Red light district.
Yeah. Same as I say, Bella, it's genius when you think about it. I mean, let's say, for instance, like, because his dad, they've got a really long back garden, and on end of that, they've then got an allotment. But after that, there's like a field. So I think what his dad does is goes down the garden through the. Hiya, Gordo. He's not watching Sheffield United, actually.
No, because they're on the Premier League break.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so oh, okay then, Amjad, thank you for coming in, and
see you, Amjad.
Yeah, see you later. We're doing a Valentine's special on Friday. Mr. P will be on the sofa, and hopefully I'll get some people on the panel as well, all being well. But anyway, same as I say, his dad just sort of is not one of these that just open the door and let him go out. He likes him to have a good run. Why? Why what?
Got to be more specific.
Why am I doing a Valentine's special? Because I feel like it. But who says we want Pixie on the sofa? You've got no choice again there, Wacky. I just thought because it was Valentine's Day, we'd show a united front. Pardon the pun. So, tough titty. And Yeah, apparently, I mean, I don't know whether anybody else has heard this. Apparently, there's a video that's gone viral. And Chris probably knows what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've seen loads of
About the Blades fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. There's a Blades fan that is
reported Blades fan.
Reportedly a Blades fan has gone to Hillsborough, trespassed onto the pitch and done a poop on the centre spot.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night. And filmed himself and pointed to this, you know.
So I'm watching a load of poop.
You know, pointed to it and filmed himself pointing at this turd that he'd done on the pitch.
Disgusting, if you ask me. they're not football fans if they do that.
But
it might be crap, but they don't deserve that.
Same as Chris says, he don't agree with what they've done. He thought it was funny, but he don't agree with what they've done. You know, but I think what he's done it for, Bella, I think he's done it for the notoriety. You know, I've done what everybody's thinking, but too scared to do it all. On them sort of lines. And I says to Chris, well, who wants to film themselves having a crap, whether it's on a rival's football pitch or what? You know what I mean? See what Gordo's put?
No, I'm typing.
Now we know what Chris gets up to of an evening. Can't use the toilet like normal people. But you see, same as I say, I don't know how true it is. I don't know. You know, it's just hearsay at the moment. You know what I mean? But there's been a big hoo-ha about it, and you know, so yeah, I mean, there's talk like from the Blades forums that if he is actually a Blades fan, that they're going to ban him. You know, it's not the way, you know, they don't want him making a bad name for the club, if you know what I mean. Gordo says, "Hope you wipe yours."
I wonder where he got bog roll from.
But yeah, same as Chris says, you know, like proper Blades fans don't do things like that. And it wouldn't surprise me if he does get banned, because it's not giving that club a good name.
No.
You know what I mean? So, you know, same as Chris says, while he, you know, he did laugh about it, he didn't agree with it. If you know what I mean. He don't agree with it whatsoever. You know, there is that rivalry between the two clubs, and same as Chris said, I'd never go that far. You know, yeah, I diss them at every occasion, and you know, he likes to see him lows, etc., etc. But he won't go to them extremes, you know. So, oh yeah, I did see that as well.
Wow.
Young, I don't know, they were a Sheffield Wednesday fan. Apparently, a cop of it.
Smashed them all.
Yeah.
We're a Preston fan.
Oh, it were a Preston fan, were it? So I did see that on. Even West Ham fans draw the line at crapping on the pitch, and Gordo says no, the players do it instead. Oh, we've got Hugh in Asgard Studios.
Hey, Asgard's in the house.
So yes, I did see that where it were all blooded and apparently had been hit over head by a policeman with his baton. So you know, there's, you know, there again, that's taking things a bit too far. You know, whether they're mouthing off or whatever they're doing, they don't deserve that kind of treatment. So, you know, that's another thing that I do not agree with. You know, football, chants, mouthing off, that's what they do. But there were no need for that kind of violence, let's just say. So, you know what what happened to, you know, the love of the game, and, you know, and but I'm just laughing at what Gordo put. But you see, the thing is, same as I was saying, Gordo, earlier on. We've been married 17 years. I mean, we don't even send each other a Valentine's card. And as a rule, we don't really celebrate Valentine's because we tell each other we love each other every day. So, you know, Friday's not going to be any different. You know what I mean? You know, and from what, you know, it's just another money making racket. You know what I mean, to me. And yeah, same as I say, when you've been married that amount of years, you know, same as I've just said, we tell each other we so you soppy buggers, but we do. You know, I mean, when Chris is going out, even if it's only to Asda, give me Tasda, yeah, he gives me a kiss and he'll say love you, and then just as he's going out, he'll say miss you. You know what I mean? but yeah, you know what I mean. When we tell each other we love each other every day, so you know, it's and I says to him, I says, you know, I can't stand, you know, as much as he'd love to buy me flowers, I've always said to him, don't you ever come home and bring me flowers. You know what I mean? Because I think they're a waste of money myself. Chris is a keeper. So I'm not then who? You know, I mean, same as I say, it don't matter if it's just going down road to the shop or if it's going up to doctors to pick his prescriptions up. He always gives me a kiss. He always says, love you, miss you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean? It's yeah. Hi Ian, how are you? But you know, it's same as I said, you know, I don't begrudge, you know, like young couples and you know, him taking her out for a romantic meal or I taking him out for a romantic meal and buying each other, you know, flowers, chocolates, etc. But yeah. See what Gordo, if I bought a flower, she would question me on what I'd done wrong. Oh, you're watching the telly. But you see, this is the thing, Hugh. Same as we've said, you know, as a couple, and I'm sure Bella would agree with me and Ian, as a couple, we've gone through a lot. Now, Chris has always been there for me, and vice versa, which it should be in a marriage. You know, you're there for each other through the good and the bad. You know, and it's Ian's watching Love Island, or Mort at Point Sophie's watching Love Island. So, but yeah.
No choice when Love Island's on.
Oh, Gordo's doing the special three-course meal. Same as Chris says earlier on. I think we might splash out and go to Chippy.
Fish cake butty.
So yeah, same as I say. You know, I don't sort of diss anybody that proposals, etc. Same as I say, I like a good love story as much as the next person, you know. You know what I mean? I love to hear, like, our people meet, where they went on the first date. Have you ever had a date go horribly wrong and things like that? You know what I mean? Kate says they might have Chinese.
Oh, sounds like a plan.
But yeah, I love to hear, how other people met, where you went on your first date, where's the least romantic place that your partner, your husband, your girlfriend, your boyfriend has took you, and were your first date a success or a disaster, things like that. I love to hear a good, love story, if you know what I mean.
Push the boat out.
Well, at this rate, Kate, if we have any more rain and wind, we might be having to push boat out to go anywhere. Yeah. So either that or sledge. So yeah, that'll sort of be the topic of discussion on Friday. Where you went on your first date, how you met, and things like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's Oh, Gordo says, ironically, on our first date, I took hot chocolate all over her. We had a wobbly table and I knocked it. Oops.
Oh, dear.
But obviously she came back for more and she's still with you, so she must have forgiven you. Wacky says, judging by the grass stains on my knees, I'd say the first date was a success. And Ascard says, first date, I got mine off the mail order. Well, you see, when I first met Chris, we were in a bar and I went up to the bar and he was actually stood at the bar. Now, bearing in mind, I just got a round of drinks in and he says, do you want to drink? So I blew him off, actually, when we first met.
You did?
Oh, I'm reading Kate. She says, I met Azy in a nightclub. He nicked my seat. Our first date was to see Titanic. Lol, 3 hours long. We managed to get a bottle of vodka to fill our big cokes up. I used to drink back then. But you see, yeah, Chris was stood at bar. I'd just gone to bar, got, all these drinks. And then he says, do you want to drink? And I went, no, I've just bought these. And I walked off. And then I went back to my pals and they says, who was that you were talking to at bar? I says, I don't know. He wanted to buy me a drink. And he says, what did you say? I just says, no, thanks. I've just got these. So I got prodded and poked. Go on, get back over there, So basically, I got sort of cajoled into going back over to him and we started talking and we went and sat down at a table and rest's history. What a poser, did he have a medallion on, lol? No, it was just propping bar up. So, and then he sort of told me the tale that Blades were playing at home that night, and because he'd won, he was going on a pub crawl, and he happened to come in the same pub as I was in. So I met my missus through That's Plenty of Fish, by the way. So yeah, you know, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, 20 years ago, nearly, since me and Chris met. So, you know what I mean? It's, you know, same as I say, if it hadn't been for my friend saying, well, what are you waiting for? Go on, get over and go, you know. So I sort of drunk my drink pretty quickly, went over and I said, oh, I'll have that drink now if you don't mind. And he got me a drink, and then we went over and we sat down at a table and we were talking, and I haven't been able to get shut on him since. Hi, Carla. How are you? Yeah, it started off with his mates, but Chris wanted to go on to some clubs and whatever, but they didn't. So we just went solo after that.
I'm hardcore.
I'm laughing at what Gordo's put. I did join the Tesco dating site, but I didn't fancy a bag for life, so I left. So yeah, so they the sort of stories I like to hear, you know, you met your other half, and I don't think we ever went out on a first date, as I say.
That were it.
We swapped numbers, and I sort of said to my mates, I says, oh, I've given my number, and because I'm not putting it out on first night, you know what I mean? I'll probably not hear from him again. But lo and behold, he rung me the next day, and he says, oh, I'm probably coming up to see you next weekend. He was working for an agency at the time, and he says, I'm working Monday to Friday. He says, so I'll probably come up next weekend. But Wednesday, gets a phone call, and he says, I'm on my way to yours. So
Never left.
Basically, you know, I went because it was like right near Christmas. After Christmas, I went up to his for a couple of days, and then sort of he came to mine, and he never went home, only to pick all his furniture and everything. So yeah, you know, it sort of went into where I lived. He went into town one day, came back, and he went, you never guess what? And I says, what? He says, I've got a job. Never sort of, you know, do you mind if I stick around or whatever? He says, I've got a job, and that Richie moved in. Karen Thomas. I do have senior moments.
We got Thomas.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
So yeah, sort of, you know, and I've been able to get shut on him since. So, but yeah, is that eating's on? I'm sweating.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So, we're a romantic, yeah. Shall I tell you where it was, Wacky? The very first job he got when he moved in with me.
Oh God, is it?
It's a coffin factory where they make the coffins.
Hello.
So yeah, that was the job that he got. Weren't you cleaning?
No, we're actually sanding lids down.
Oh right, that's it.
Sanding lids down, ready for the
Bella says he's still there. Talk about wearing out, you're welcome. But yeah, the very first job he got after we got together, and when he came, no, it's in Sutton in Ashfield. It were a coffin factory. where they make obviously coffins. So so he says, well,
Thomas is back.
it's the dying trade. Same as I said, you know, when you think about it, everybody needs coffins. So it's a good job to have, because you're not going to get laid off or anything, because, you know, so anyway, that was the story behind his first job when we got together. Because the place that we were at were an agency, so it's as and when they needed him, you see. So we're doing all right, Thomas. So yeah, so that's sort of the story behind us. You know, how we met and all that palaver. So, I don't need reminding, bloody funeral directors right across the road from me. Oh, no coronavirus yet. Oh dear. But yeah, some as I say. Oh, Baz was still chefing when we met. So yeah, and as they say, the rest is history. You know, we, some as I say, we've been married 17 years in June, been together 20 sort of in December. So, you know. Yeah, I can remember Corona Pop as well. They used to deliver, didn't they? Corona. Used to deliver Corona Pop to your doorstep. Right. Hey, Karate Joe.
I'll do karate.
I am the doctor.
You got K9 with you.
Yeah, I'm going to say he's waiting for somebody to say Doctor Who. So yeah. So, you know, I have, they didn't deliver just pop.
No, you know. There's always one in there.
So yeah. And
I need to catch up on that.
It's still recording the series.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to watch it then.
But Wacky says it weren't me. Yeah, but I mean, this is another reason why I don't go out very much, Bella, because the new houses around our estate are full of Chinese people. You know what I mean? And then there's this, I've seen in the news, this one particular, and he's a British bloke, has caused 11 cases of it here in the UK. You know, where that outbreak has been in France, in that French Alps resort or whatever, that he'd been there. And there's 2 GPs come down with it and lot. So
not into Gavin, Stacey. I could never get into that.
You know, it's not just the Chinese. I mean, he'd been to this French ski resort where it broke out and come back from his holidays, and he's infected about 11 people. So we don't watch Gavin and Stacey, to be honest, karate.
No.
So I ain't got the faintest what you're on about. Says the uncle, reminds me of Mr. P. But anyway, same as I say, it just goes to show you how easily it can be transmitted. Because he's come back from that French ski resort. He's and they're trying to contact everybody that he's come into contact with.
No, Lucy.
Oh, Kate says Gavin and Stacey were filmed 30 minutes away from where she lives.
I've got recommendation of cheap Wi-Fi. Talk.
No idea. Can't you go on one of these compare sites and see which is cheapest, Thomas? Hey, we've got Frugal Farmer in.
Frugal.
So, some as I say, I'm not really, just type in cheap Wi-Fi or whatever and see where it comes up with. Oh, so if you go to Barry, you can buy the merch in their shop. Ooh.
No, Barry's Music got a shop.
Bella says cheapest is PlusNet.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I know why, because the dodgy as hell.
So anyway, some as I say, I don't really know, go on these compare sites. I don't know. See if if you're getting a good deal, or some as I say, I don't really know. So oh, okie dokie then. He needs to close kitchen up.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd just say shop around, Thomas, and see, see where what pops up as cheapest. You want a good deal, obviously if you're not wanting television package and you're just wanting the Wi-Fi, then it's going to be. We was on PlusNet once. It's like the add-ons that they put on, Bella. Every month when we get a bill, this has been added on, or that's been added on, or you know what I mean?
We're going on some years now. So
yeah, we're talking about before it got popular.
This is we're talking dial stage.
Yeah, it weren't very. Same as I say, we were getting every month when bill come. We've added so much on for this, or we've added so much on. Kate says, I'm with Talk, got fibre fast internet plus phone line and TV package plus free to other Talk people. If you pay £5, get mobiles free a month. Oh, that's it. So, same as I say, the best thing to do, or my advice would be to shop around and go to these compare sites and see what it comes up with, who can see where it can come up with. But you see, this is the problem. You see, Thomas has just got his own flat, so he's sort of got to be a bit frugal with the pennies, because he was living with his grandma before, so he's sort of got to watch what he's spending, so to speak. So yeah, it's. I mean, we with Sky, and we've got the Sky Q box. We've got the fibre broadband and the telephone. So it's quite a good deal. But we're on like the ordinary Sky box, and then we had a lot of trouble with his broadband, so they sort of said, well, if you go on fibre optic, it's a lot quicker, blah blah blah. So I went on that first, and then we rang up and what Wakey's put. It's Thomas safe having a flat on his own. But yeah, that's the only, same as Chris says, that's the only drawback with Sky. It's because it's a dish, and it hard rain like what we've had recently, it's all pixelating. Sometimes it even goes off, and if we have snow, you have to get brush out and brush snow off at dish. You know what I mean? You know, that is the only drawback with Sky. I mean, it's a good, you know, it's a good package, but the only drawback is if it's really, yeah, well, with Virgin Bella, it's all underground, isn't it?
Yeah.
And there's only like certain areas of Sheffield that can get Virgin. I mean, it's all right, I've got my eyes itching. His mum and dad live out in Sticks in Barnsley. Yeah, they've got Virgin. They've gone from Sky to Virgin. But we can't get it where we are.
No way.
I did that for 2 years. Used to hang a dongle out the window and use the neighbour's Wi-Fi.
Ain't no wrong with that, pal.
Yeah, we can't get Virgin either. Some as I say, there's only certain parts of Sheffield that can get it. I mean, we did see like one of these billboards, and it says, you know, coming hopefully soon to the whole of Sheffield. So it's when they get the act together. You know, the you know, it means them digging roads up and, you know, whatever. But Seb, as I say, his mum and dad live out in Sticks and they've got Virgin. So I says to Chris, I says, well, that's good, isn't it? You know, we live like literally 5-10 minutes away from the city centre and we can't get it. He says, I'm a born again virgin. Does that count? Unfortunately not. So yeah, so it's, but Chris has always liked Virgin, and he always said if we do get Virgin round here, he says it's swapped just like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, without a doubt. Because that, same as I say, the only drawback is with Sky, it's a dish, and if we have any really bad, strong rain or snow, you've buggered it really, because you have to get sweeping brush out and you know, go out and sweep the old dish.
So a few times.
Yeah, quite a few times. So yeah, that's the only one drawback. I mean, you know, they're quite good in all other respects, apart from it being a dish. Bella says, I was a virgin once, nothing wrong with my long-term memory. But that's Callum coming down. So yeah, same as I say, it's like everything else. You have to, in this day and age, for the best deals, you have to shop around. You know, you can always tell when it's coming down because stairs creak. So nobody could sneak upstairs in night without you hear them. Because we've got creaky stairs. So
by the way, I've got something to say.
What?
Sheffield Wednesday's bested up again. Sheffield Wednesday's bested up again. Sheffield Wednesday's bested up again. What?
Huh?
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry for that interruption. So yeah. And we've got put up with him for a week next week.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Really?
That should be a compliment.
Yeah, right. Wacky says that's not creaky stairs, he's got creaky feet. Just put it down there. But yeah, nobody'd be able to sneak upstairs at night because
me.
I'd hate stairs creaking. I'm very light sleeper. Because Amjad were on about earlier on, and he says he couldn't get to sleep when it were really windy on Monday night. And I says, well, I got round that here, so I just put quilt over, like, you know, covered my ears up with it and, you know, blocked it all out. Well, tried to anyway. But I'm a very light sleeper. So, and these two, there could be an earthquake, and they wouldn't
I
know.
sleep straight through.
I know, you and your dad both. So yeah, I'm a very light sleeper. But that, you know, same as I said, some people are light sleepers, some people are heavy sleepers.
I'm a heavy sleeper.
Him and Chris take after one another
I
because they
could
both
just go to bed early and sleep straight through.
Bella says I couldn't sleep last night with that bleeding thing round my arm. But yeah, as I was saying in my message, Bella, when I had a lump removed off my right knee, and it was sort of like I only had to stay in overnight, because it was my leg and everything, and I obviously I couldn't get out of bed or anything on the first night. It was like a buoy, but it kept like inflating and deflating, and it's like basically to keep the circulation going in your leg so you don't get a DVT. And it was like a bay with 6 beds in it. And the next morning, nurse come to me, she says, oh, we'll take this off and we'll just get doctor to have a quick look at it, and if everything's okay, we'll put you a bandage on, and you know, we'll let you go. And these women were saying, oh, thank God for that, we don't want to put up with that for another night. It kept us all awake last night. And I says, well, it didn't stop me going to sleep. I slept like a baby, and I think it was down to anaesthetic, etc. So I was only one out of the 6 of us that had a decent night's sleep, and they were all moaning because it were keeping them awake. Oh. So yeah, so it was like an inflatable boot type of thing. I don't know exactly what you'd call it, but it sort of to inflate it and then deflate it, and it's basically to encourage your circulation so you don't get a DVT. So, but yeah, they're all moaning that it were keeping them awake. See you morning.
See you morning. David, my next Wednesday messed up again.
Yeah, all right, off to bed. So, yeah. But they were, put it this way, they were glad when I went home. But it was just there to maintain circulation and everything. Bella says night, on.
Good night, Bella.
Night, honey bun.
Oh yeah, can we send him to you next week, Bella? Because he's got a week off next week.
We'll send him a pod train.
Yeah, we'll send him up on train.
We know we ain't got enough money.
We'll have next week.
I'm sweating like a pig.
Your eating's off.
I know.
Take your jumper off then.
Yeah, right.
Get demonetised.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to take the jumper off.
Take your jumper off and get demonetised.
She says you're very welcome. That's a yes then. So
No.
You sleep in a girl's spare bedroom.
No, I'm sleeping in my own bed tights.
Oh dear.
My bed's comfortable enough.
Yeah.
Ask and teach you how to cook.
That's your excuse.
That is. That's a reasonable excuse.
You could sleep on the line proper, don't about your bed's comfortable.
I could sleep on floor.
Yeah.
And I'd still be comfortable.
So pack his bags. Gordo says pack his bags. Yeah. Well, we do know that he's going to drive us nuts next week. So
what?
you're going to drive us nuts being off next week.
Here we go.
I know, he's listening.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
No.
Smells.
Oh dear. But yeah, he's all right in small doses, but he gets on your wires a bit. And then when Chris is watching footy on telly, it is yak 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 all the time. You know what I mean? And when you're trying to have a conversation, he don't half rattle on. He's got more rattle than a bag of marbles, I'll tell you.
It's like, what did commentate stairs? I don't know, but here comes you.
Yeah, you know, he's got this knacker. He talks through everything. And it's like when I'm trying to, let's say, because I watch Emmerdale and watch Coronation Street, he'll say, "Who's that? Is that so-and-so's ex-husband?" Or, you know what I mean? And he's asking all these questions. And I says, "Callum," I said, "if you watched it, you'd know. You know, don't come in at this late date and say, well, who's that? And who's he related to? Or who's he married to?" And, you know, you know what I mean? I'm trying to watch it. And he's saying, "Who's that then? What's he been doing? Why is he doing that?" Or, "Callum, just watch it, for God's sake." At least you don't raid your cupboard like my one. No. It was like, well, this is the thing, Bella. I made them cupcakes on Monday. And bearing in mind, they both already had one this morning, right? Because after I got out of bed, I went in bath. And Chris says, "There's one of them cupcakes left. So if you want it, you can have it." And I went, "Oh, that's nice of you, being as I made them." So Callum says, "Mum, do you want it?" And I went, "No, all right then, Callum, you can have it if you want it."
Yeah, last one.
Yeah.
Last time.
So, hi, Lois. How are you?
Life with Louis.
Lois.
Louis, oh, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah. So not only had they already had one, but there were one left. And you know, Chris says, "Oh well, if you want, you can have that last one." And I sort of made some, you know, some sarky remark. "Oh, thanks very much, being as I made them." So Callum says, "Are you going to have that last cupcake?" And I went, oh, I know what you're getting at, Callum. I says, "You can have it if you want it." So, so yeah, so we ended up having the last one. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Hey.
At long last.
I bet you missed him terribly.
So yeah, so we even had the last cupcake after he kept badgering me and asking me if I wanted it. And I said, "No, what are you getting at? You can have it if you want it, Callum." So yeah, but I think I am going to be making a no-bake chocolate tart this weekend.
Ooh.
Made with golden Oreos, like base, caramel, and then chocolate, like a ganache type of thing. So I always make my own. Yeah. Last weekend I says to Chris, because week before that I'd made an apple crumble. So I says I found this recipe, and it was called a blueberry muffin cake. So yeah, so anyway, I made this I didn't make it. I made it in a dish, like in a dish, rather than in a cake tin. And it's like a blueberry muffin sponge cake, but you also put like a streusel topping on it. And
Night, Bella.
see you later, Bella. But yeah, so I says, oh, I fancied something different. I says, but we can have it, with some cream after a Sunday dinner. But the thing is, Wacky, it were very moist, weren't it? Because it were made up of like a blueberry muffin base with like a crumbly streusel topping, and it was absolutely gorgeous, weren't it?
Mm.
And I says to Chris, I says, well, moist. Same as I said to Chris, I says, I think next time when I make it, I'm going to make it in like a proper cake tin, but because you see, I made it in a dish. So yeah, I think I might be making that. It's called no bake chocolate caramel tart or something like, something like that. And it's like golden Oreo base, caramel, and then you put like a chocolate thing, and then drizzle it with caramel. So, but I mean, if you'd have asked me before I started baking about blueberries, I were a bit, a bit hesitant, but I like them. I like blueberries. I mean, I've made a blueberry and raspberry cobbler. I've made an apple and blueberry pie. I think I've made a crumble with them. You know what I mean? It's so it's about it's about £5 a portion. No, funnily enough, you can get a big bag of frozen blueberries at Asda for just over £1. And I buy some every time we go shopping, and they're pretty big bags like that. But I've ordered, because you see, I normally just buy either raspberries or blueberries. But this time, I'm going to try the strawberries now as well. So I've ordered some frozen strawberries. So we'll give them a go, see how we get on. I think myself, buying frozen is a lot more economical than buying them fresh, because obviously strawberries are not in season. What is a cobbler? A cobbler is like fruit base, and then instead of a crumble, it's like a sponge mixture. But you just put blobs of it on your fruit, and it expands as it cooks. So it's somewhat different from a pie or a crumble. What other one? I made a peach and pear cobbler, didn't I, as well?
Mm.
But it's like you've got the fruit, but you've also, it's like part sponge and part lazy baking. Now you have to make the sponge up. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that it'd be called a peach and pear sponge, wouldn't it? And that's why they call it a cobbler, because you just put it on in dollops. Hence the cobble, where the cobbler bit comes in. I'll tell you what else I downloaded as well the other day. Raspberry scones. something like that, I think. Right, I'm just looking. So, oh yeah, I'm trying to think what they're called now. I did only download it other day, but I thought, well, it's something different. There was some scones. Anyway, I can't find it. No, that's not it. Anyway, there's another thing that I've looked into as well, and it's like a Rice Krispie thing. It's basically it's got peanut butter in as well.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I custom wheel horse tractor, but anyway, right. So it's melted marshmallows, Rice Krispies, and then Reese's peanut butter cups, and you put a layer of Rice Krispies that's coated in the marshmallow stuff. You put the Reese's peanut butter cups, a layer of them, and then you top it off with another layer of Rice Krispies. So basically, and then obviously you drizzle chocolate and everything on top of it, cut it into squares, and you've got a. They look nice. Let's just say that. Does it contain nuts? Yeah. So basically, they one of my next vlogs that I'm going to be doing. You know, it's you melt the marshmallow with some peanut butter, add your Rice Krispies, mix it all in. You put a layer of the Rice Krispies, the Reese's peanut butter cups, and then you put the rest of the Rice Krispies on top, drizzle it with chocolate, and then you put it in the fridge to set. So yeah, so they. But I'm gonna do the chocolate tart one at weekend, so we can have that after a Sunday lunch. Only thing I don't know whether it contains nuts, but it contains peanut butter, so yeah, in a way it does. So, but you'd be surprised, Wacky, how many requests I do get. You know, I've still got to do. Somebody asked me to do like a cornflake tart, which is like pastry, jam, and then cornflakes on top. Well, this is the thing. There's that many like scaremongers about. You know what I mean? About you know, at one time you couldn't have raw eggs when you were pregnant, and you know, mad cow disease and all this, that, and other. There's that much scaremongering going on as regards eggs, and then this swine flu and bird flu and God knows what else. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. Some, as I say, but you see, I'm also on a lot of baking forums and baking Facebook groups, and you know, on they like chat forums and whatever. So I were reading other day that somebody had come on and they says, "Oh, I need everybody's advice. I've been asked to do a cake, but somebody had got a nut allergy, and can you do a cake, you know, blah blah blah." And somebody says, well, in my opinion, it don't matter how much you charge for these cakes, you can never 100% guarantee that them ingredients or whatever have not come into contact with any nuts. So their advice to this lady was, I know it's like for a friend or a relative, but just say, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be. It's like a thin line. If she were to bake that cake and let's say, you know, one of the ingredients has been stored next to some peanuts or been stored next to some nuts, you know, some people are that allergic that even, you know, coming into contact with somebody that's been in contact with nuts, if you know what I mean. And they says, well, look, in my honest opinion, and they're all of the same opinion, it's just not worth it, you know, being sued because somebody's had an allergic reaction after eating, you know. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, Wacky. Same as I say, she'd been asked to do this cake. I think it was somebody's birthday party or something. But the only problem is one of the guests had got a nut allergy. And she were asking people's opinion on how she could best get round it and, you know, things she could do to safeguard this person coming into contact with, you know, with nuts. And they're all saying, you know, it's not what you want to hear, but if anybody asked me to do a cake like that, I should just say, I'm sorry, but I can't guarantee that some of the ingredients or maybe one of the ingredients has been in contact. You know what I mean? You can't really, when all's said and done, you can't guarantee it's 100% nut free, because even like when you buy things in supermarket and it says may contain trace amounts of nuts, so nobody can guarantee 100% that it's nut free. So you see, and this is the thing where I've had folks say to me, oh, you ought to set up a business or you ought to do this. There's too much, in my mind, faffing about. You know what I mean? There's so many rules and regulations, health and safety regulations. You know what I mean? It takes... I tried to be funny thinking I don't know what sweetbreads are. But yeah, you know what I mean? And same as I said to Chris, I'm a bit too longing to be... I'd sooner just bake like what they call a hobby baker. You know what I mean? Do it for my family, do it for my friends. Don't charge. Oh, pardon me. Don't charge for it. It's just that I enjoy baking, and that's why I do it. I don't want all the faff about health and safety and all this malarkey. So yes. You thought you'd get one over on me there, Wakey, but I do know what sweetbreads are. Richard's in.
Hello, Richard, lad.
So yes, I very thought I didn't know what sweetbreads were. You've got to get up earlier, ain't they, Wakey, than that to get me on that one. So yeah, I don't mind. You know, when I go to visit anybody, I don't mind taking a cake with me or making somebody, not charging them. I do it because I love baking. Not, you know, I don't want to palaver, you know, health and safety and inspections. And hygiene certificates and all this, that, and other. You know what I mean? I'm not, I'm too long in tooth for all that malarkey. So, well, I look at it this way. Chris and Callum have been eating them, and they're still alive. You know what I mean? I've not killed them off yet. The hobby baker. Well, you see, that's what they in these groups and whatever. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot that do it as a living, that make like christening cakes, baby gender reveal cakes, wedding cakes. You know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, I'm just what I call a hobby baker. I just do it as a hobby.
Change that to your channel name.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I class myself as just a hobbyist. I do it as a hobby, not as a, as a way of earning a living. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know what I mean. But it, like when you're running them circles, that's what they call people that just do it as a hobby. They call you a hobby baker. So but that's the problem with a lot of these Facebook groups. A lot of are advertising the business, if you know what I mean. So use it in your YouTube banner. Well, yeah, I could do, but some, as I say, a lot of these, some, as I say, these Facebook pages, they're there purely to promote their business, and a lot of them do like buffet style things. They make muffins and little fondant fancies and all this palaver. I just do it as a hobby, and that's all I intend on doing. Same as I said, I've got no intentions of selling what I make, or anything. So yeah, I mean, and folks will tell you when I go and see anybody or we go and visit anybody, I always take a cake with me, and nobody's had food poisoning up to yet. So I'm doing something right, you know what I mean? So yeah, but I just do it because I love baking. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's like Chris loves photography. You like your RC stuff, you know what I mean? We've all got these different hobbies, and mine just happens to be baking. So yeah, it's so that's that. And I did my Valentine's stuff last week, so I have to work on it. So but I've still got what I'm waiting for Mr. P to do, 2 vlogs that need editing. So I'm just waiting for him.
Hint.
That have been made forever and a day.
I know.
Cleaned out a cupboard today. Right at the back was a bottle of Henderson's Relish, Best by 2007. But you see, should have matured enough. You see, I was talking about Callum and about his learning difficulty. He went through a stage where whenever he went to fridge to get something, he got a bugger for checking all sell-by dates and whatever. And even if it weren't out of date, he'll say, yeah, but it's going to be out of date tomorrow. You know what I mean? And it were really, really strict about it, weren't he? He's not so bad now.
Just get it out.
Yeah.
Drink it.
You know, like packets of crisps, and he'd look on back and say, well, these is only in date till such and such a date. And, you know what I mean? He got really obsessed about it at one point, you know, these sell-by dates. And I says, Callum, I says, they only there as a rough, you know, it's not written in stone that you've got to use it by that certain date. You know what I mean? It's just a rough thing that they have to put on products nowadays. So yeah, he's not so bad now. He's calmed down a bit now, but he went through a stage where it were everything. What about that hand wash as well? I've got some hand washing in because we've got a downstairs toilet, but it's got a wash basin. So I put some hand wash on top of the toilet. So anyway, he says he went in one day and he come back out and he says, how long have we had that hand washing in toilet? And I went, oh, we've had it ages, Callum, but I always like to put a bar of soap there. I always like to put a bar of soap there so they've got the choice of whether they can wash the hands with soap or they can wash the hands with liquid soap. So he says, how long's that been in there? And I went, ages, Callum, ages, Callum. He says, when's it sell-by date? I says, stuff like that don't have a sell-by date. I says, it's a liquid soap, Callum. You know what I mean? And Chris couldn't stop laughing.
Still laughing now.
Yeah. I says it's not food. I says it's a hand soap wash, Callum. I says there ain't no such thing as sell by dates or use by dates. I says on hand wash. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying, Kate. At one point, he got really obsessed about it.
Why did we have so much chronic?
So yeah, you know, and you have to explain to him, you know, such things like that. You can have them sitting there till doomsday and never get used, and they're not going to go off because it's a hand wash. You know what I mean? It's different. It's a different kettle of fish when it comes to foodstuffs. That you can understand, but when he started on about hand wash. Oh, God, give me strength, Callum. You know what I mean? It did. It got as though at one point it was doing mine and Chris's nutting because they were like scrutinising every little thing. You know, oh. But some, as I say, I think he's gone through that stage now and he's not as bad. He's not as bad. He really got obsessed about it at one point, I think. He says you might as well put a use by on bog roll. Yeah. Don't last all that long in our house anyway.
Use by 6 months.
You know what I mean? It's and same as I says to Chris. I says in one respect, it's like an obsession to him. You know, like when people have got OCD or, you know, it's sort of, it will like an obsession. But I think it's sort of gone through that phase now. He's not so much of a stickler for it. Yeah, it did. It got really frustrating, Kate. And it was like he was scrutinising everything. It all started when before he left school to go to college. And they were on about like I think as part of the lesson they were on about salmonella and things like that, and that kind of talk, it frightens Callum, thinking that if he were to cook something and it's contaminated with salmonella, he knows it can make him really ill. But you know what I mean? I think it were they told him something in the lesson about cross-contamination and salmonella and all this, that and other, and it sent him on that path of being obsessed with it, if you get me meaning. They put that seed of doubt in his mind about, you know, and this is just like through a lesson. Yeah, in like food prep and everything, you've got to be hygiene conscious, but not to the point where they put in, you know, fear of God in him, you know, that he's going to poison people. And he got like he got like he wouldn't eat certain things because of getting food poisoning, you know, and things like that. It were going overboard with it. You know what I mean? It's it went a little bit overboard, and it were like questioning everything. But they planted that seed of doubt in his mind. So then he sort of went on this rampage where, you know, he were looking at all sell by dates, use by dates, on literally everything. So yeah. But I mean, he's doing catering and hospitality at college, and they're not all that I can't say strict, but the you know, they instill like basic hygiene, basic food hygiene, how to store things, what temperature things should be stored at, etc., etc., etc. Not put fear of God up, you know, in him and saying, well, if you know, if you get salmonella, and you know, it's, you know, there again, like scaremongering is what I call it. So, but it's not as bad now. It's not as bad now. So, but at the time it was very, very frustrating. You know, you felt like you were pulling your hair out. You know what I mean? So, you know, what did he make yesterday? Not yesterday. What day will? Monday.
Not burritos.
Burritos or something he made. He said he'd had.
He said it was spicy.
Yeah, he said he'd had one at college. He says, yeah, he says, I don't think you'll like them. He says, I had one at college. He says, and they're a bit spicy. Like he made, what was that he made?
I can't remember now.
And he put, were it chili powder he put in them?
Yeah,
I think he'd gone a bit overboard.
Spag bol, wasn't it?
No, that a few weeks ago.
I know it was nice though.
Oh, that
fish.
They were like that folded pizza thing, weren't it? Yeah. Calzone. He made a calzone.
I ate most of it, but
yeah. It was one of them where after a few mouthfuls you could feel your lips tingling. And I think he says, oh yeah, I put did he say chili powder?
I think so, yeah.
I think he'd put some chili powder in it, but I think
he gets mixed up between a teaspoon and a tablespoon.
Yeah, I think, yeah, same as Chris says, I think it gets a bit mixed up. And it were, I couldn't eat it because I can't eat spicy stuff. Oh, pardon me. But even Chris said, you know, I ate most of it, but it got to the point where, you know, your tongue were all tingly and your lips were all tingly, and it were nice. Don't get me wrong. But I think he'd gone a bit overboard on the spice bit of it. So, but I think he said he'd put chili powder in them or something. I don't know. But it were a calzone. It were like a folded pizza. It looked like a giant, Cornish pasty. But it had got like oat pizza ingredients in it. So, but same as I said, it's giving him the experience of making these different things. He hasn't made anything sweet for a few weeks, so I'm assuming he'll be making well, not assuming anything, but that he'll be making something sweet in tomorrow or either when he goes back. I'm on the water tonight. So yeah, you know, he hasn't made anything sweet for a few weeks. When was the last time he made anything sweet? Can't remember. So anyway, so it's just got tomorrow. He only makes stuff on a Monday and a Thursday. So we're expecting a delight for tomorrow. So I don't know what we never know what he's going to be making. So and then
fish and chips.
No, I'm on about.
No,
It turned round to me tonight, and you're on about. We got on about. He says to me he don't like anything that's made with a biscuit base, and I says, well, cheesecakes is all made with a biscuit base. And I was saying to Chris, I think I'll be making that tart, and I says it's made with golden Oreos. He says, I don't like things that are made with a biscuit base. And I went, well, you're not the only one that's
more for us,
yeah,
isn't it?
you're not the one that's eating it, Callum. You know, I'm not going to stop making like cheesecakes and things like that just because you don't like anything with a biscuit base. I says, just scoop it off wherever it is and leave biscuit base. You know, it's makes no odds to me. But have you ever heard of a kid that don't like a biscuit base?
He likes his digestives to dunk in his coffee.
Well, this is it. But you know, I don't know. It goes through these funny phases, and
it's a funny.
Yeah, when it comes to food, I've never known. I mean, at one time, I still don't think it don't eat cheese. Not eat cheese. So yeah, we used to live in Great Yarmouth. Pardon me. Go on, Yarmouth Marketplace, and he used to have chips and cheese. Yeah, he don't like cheese.
Yeah.
But it's like Chris. Only tomatoes that he will eat is tin tomatoes. He don't like fresh tomatoes in any way, shape or form. Only tin tomatoes. So, you know, I know where he gets it from now. You know, it's like, you know, how can you like tin tomatoes but not fresh tomatoes? So, you know, and Callum likes chips and cheese, but he don't like cheese. No, it's in my book, it's either black or white. You either like it or you don't. Easy. Soon solved. So, so yeah. But now I know where he gets his, you know. Yeah, he'll eat pizza. He'll just not eat cheese. You know, like I always, when I go shopping, I always get like blocks of cheese. Now Chris will either make cheese toasties, he'll have cheese on toast. This is Chris, by the way. Cheese on toast, cheese on a sandwich, you know. But Callum not have anything like that. But he does like same as I say, he'll eat cheesy chips, and he'll eat pizza with cheese on it.
He'll only have brown sauce on his sandwiches.
Yeah, and it's like he'll only everything he eats, it's got to have red sauce on it. Now, the only time he has brown sauce is when he has ham sandwiches. So why, I don't know. It tell you, it's
Yeah,
funny. It's been in ages.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Gordon Bennett.
I missed him.
You know,
Sorry,
it is really, well, I wouldn't say a fussy eater. You know what I mean? But
He is.
yeah, but I mean, not to the. I mean, like your Stephen.
I don't have
He don't like gravy.
They don't have any wet food whatsoever.
So yeah, you know, I mean, Callum virtually has red sauce on everything. But funny thing is, when he has ham sandwiches, he has to have brown sauce on it. So, you know, there's no rhyme or reason to it. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. Like, let's say, for instance, we have pizza. He gets Chris to drizzle tomato sauce on his pizza, and then he'll say, "Dad, don't forget the blob outside." And you know, he keeps emphasising it's got to have a blob, a red sauce outside it plate. So yeah, it's got to be very precise and very, you know, thing about these things. You know, he's just got his what I call little foibles, if you get me meaning. You know, he's got to have red sauce on whatever we're having for tea, or you know what I mean. But his nephew, he don't like gravy, and Chris says to him one day, he says, "You mean to tell me you eat mashed potato?" He says, "And don't have any gravy on it?" He went, "No." He says, I've never liked gravy at all. So Chris says, "Well, how about like meat pies and things like that have already got gravy in it?" He says, "I don't eat them." Yeah, well, you see, same as I say, his nephew not eat anything containing gravy whatsoever. You know, and Chris was saying, well, it's best thing about it, like a roast dinner, is plenty lashings of gravy on it. No, he won't eat. And he says, it must be boring just eating like mashed potatoes without any gravy. You know what I mean? And but you know, if that's, you know, if you don't like gravy, you don't like gravy. It's like everything else. People are different. You know what I mean? I don't like anything too spicy. But other people love curries and spicy things, you know. I mean, take for instance, Callum don't like Chinese, but the only thing off for a Chinese menu that Callum will eat is the chicken balls in the sweet and sour chicken balls. The only things. Let's say, for instance, if we were to order a Chinese, they would be the only things that he'd want were the sweet and sour chicken balls. He wouldn't entertain noodles or you know, egg fried rice or anything like that. He'd just want the chicken balls. Really, really fussy. You see, and this is why we don't very, very, very rarely, and I mean very, very rarely, have a takeaway, because we like Chinese, but Callum don't. You know what I mean? None of us like spicy curries or hot curries. You know what I mean? So, you know, we may as well just cook for ourselves and know what we're eating, if you know what I mean. And then that way it keeps everybody happy. So, you know, it's this is why we don't do takeaways, because you'd be ordering this for Callum and something else for me and something else for, you know what I mean? It's more what's it than it's worth. You know, it's more more ball ache than it's worth. So we just cook us own. Well, Chris does. Chris, you know, we cook at home, and then we know what we're eating, and you know, it's we know that he's happy with what he's eating, and you know, we ain't got to sort of tiptoe around the fact that Callum don't like this and Callum don't like that, and you know, it's a very hey, we've got Stephen.
Hello, Steve.
So yeah, you know, it's but when you've got like a fussy eater or things like that, you know, just to save ball ache, you just cook your own. It's not worth having yeah, right.
How the tea?
It says he's been lurking for ages. He's quite busy. Yeah. Wish Lauren happy birthday from me. I did wish her happy. Happy birthday, Lauren.
Happy birthday, Lauren.
So yes, I did leave a message on a Facebook thing wishing her happy birthday.
I just have.
So yeah, that's the thing, Kate. You know, it's a lot easier just to cook at home and know that he's going to eat what's put in front of him. You know what I mean? So so yes, it's Lauren's birthday today.
21.
I'll be about another 5 minutes, Kate. I'm not stopping on too late. Same as I say, I'll probably be on till about 11. So get a bit of a sore throat now. I know Callum's got a lot to answer for with snivels and whatever. I still need getting anything else. Just getting over. Okay then, Richard, see you later.
See you later, mate.
Have a good one. Don't forget to tune in to Friday night Valentine's special. Or are you taking the missus out?
Take 4 we're and all. I got number just been punching it Pickering on.
11 a.m.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm not. 11 p.m. About another 4 minutes. So yeah, don't forget to tune in Friday night. We're having a Valentine's special.
Yeah, you might see me.
Yes, I have persuaded Chris to come and sit on the sofa with me. So while I will be having a co-host with me on Friday evening.
I've got some Fosters with me.
So she says she was going to say 11 a.m. I'll still be in bed at 11 a.m. Time enough to run a mile then. So yeah, so Chris has hopefully, touch wood, if I can persuade him by buying him some Fosters, that is going to be my co-host on Friday for the Valentine's special.
There you go.
So there you go. So yes. And we're going to talk about love, being in love, and you know, dates and proposals and all things romantic. That's Chris in background saying, yeah, all mushy stuff. Oh dear. Oh, it's put Foster's with a question mark. Get him some Stella.
No, I can't be doing with that stuff.
No, he likes this Foster's Wacky. Foster's and whiskey.
Yeah, bit of whiskey.
Yeah. So anyway, same as I say, it's all going to be about the love on Friday.
No, it's not going to be a fun night.
No. I want lots of romantic stories. and happy endings. You know, things like that. That's basically what we're going to talk about on Friday. Share the love. Just call me Dr. Love.
Oh, dear.
So, yeah, Chris is laughing at that one. Tune into Simon Bates then. Oh dear.
Do you know? There's always one in there.
I know. We might even be able to set Wakey up on a blind date. You never know.
A blind date. She'll have to be blind.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Mama's Homestead. That is one of the ladies that I did the collab with. By the way, I can't pronounce your name.
Hello, Catter. Ding. Cool. King.
You see, that's why I didn't even attempt it. Oh, Robin. Okay, then I'll call you Robin. That's a lot better than pronouncing your channel name. So, yeah, Robin is one of the ladies that took part in the collab.
Ah.
So I actually did 2 collabs last Friday. One was Valentine's cupcakes, and then the other one was Valentine's dessert. So I did 2 collabs last week. So I was just saying, I've been on for 2 hours, so I normally just go for around 2 hours. So I'll be turning it off shortly. I normally go live on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening here in the UK. So I'm doing a Valentine's. Okay, then, Kate, I will be shutting it down shortly.
Okay.
Doing a Valentine's special on Friday evening. You know, talking about all things romantic and see you later, Kate. Speak to you later. Okay, then, see you Friday. So I'm going to shut it down because I have been going like 2 hours. So yeah, thank you very much, Robin, for coming in. I'm sorry that you've just come in and I'm shutting it down, but I always set a time limit on at 2 hours. So I will be back again Friday evening, 9 p.m. UK time. I think it's 5 p.m. US time. So thank you everybody for coming in. I really appreciate you coming in, and I love chatting with everybody. So I will see you again on Friday for the romantic Valentine's special. Bye.
Bye. Ain't washing now, thanks for having me.
I haven't ended it yet, that's why.